It's time for BSSAC Off Track in the Back Room, where we meet the men and women behind preparing the athletes from the various schools for the 2024 Barbados Secondary Schools Athletic Championship. Good evening. BSSAC 2024 is just days away, and in this final episode we're going to head into the back room of two schools who are no strangers to being victorious. We're going to first head over to Waterford and then to Churchill. Let's start at Waterford, for a school that is touted to be one of the favorites this year, having finished second and third in the boys and girls respectively last year.
I believe that.
Combermere School has signaled that they are not coming out to play this BSSAC season, and behind them is a 4-member physical education department team.
Don Waldron, Gerard Murray, Tricia Briggs. For BSSAC, Mr. Murray is the head coach, assisted by Don. The whole department has roles at BSSAC. The coaching, as I said, most of the coaching, Murray and Don. We chip in where necessary because BSSAC is too big an event that one PE teacher or two can do it by themselves. And because Combermere, I came here and found a very organized department, well-oiled machine. So when we go to BSSAC, we know what we have to do. Right now, I can't tell what I'm going to be doing on the day, but what I'm going to tell you is that the whole department will be heavily involved in what is going on, and that is how we function as a well-oiled unit.
As mentioned, spearheading the BSSAC preparation is Gerard Murray, and at this stage he is satisfied with how it has been going.
We are still in the process of putting everything together, making sure that everybody is best suited in the events that they're going to take part in. It's been a task. I think it's a good headache to have because we have quite a few people, especially in the senior team, ready to take on any challenge that we have. So, we're remaining confident and sticking with everything that we have going. We're looking to maximize ourselves in the field for sure. We know in the junior area, over the years we've needed to tidy up in that area, so we are going to make sure that we spend a lot of time with the juniors, exposing them as much as possible to the field event area and building their skill sets along to make sure that we can be as successful as we can going forward.
Outside of the PE department getting the athletes ready, there are a number of other moving parts that makes a team get through a BSSAC meet effectively and efficiently. Actually, we learned this in previous episodes, that schools have a management team behind them. Combermere is no different.
I prefer to call it a system of inclusion, where, like for instance, Stuart Mears would give us a hand. Marlon Hart, who is our football coach, he would give us a hand, and we have student managers. The idea of the student managers came about because, as I said, BSSAC is an operation. It's just too much to ask 4 PE teachers or 2 PE teachers to handle that by themselves. So the student managers, they will make sure that the children are checked in for their events, and we have it in such a way that we have, let's say, 2 managers or 1 manager per division. So the person that's in charge of let's say the senior boys, that's his role, senior boys or senior girls. We place a lot of emphasis on the management of the junior athletes because BSSAC is a new experience for them, and we want them to understand that BSSAC is not just about competing at BSSAC. It's where you learn to get along with people. You have your rivals and your friends, but on the track, when the gun goes off, there are no friends. It's rivals, rivalry and competition, fierce competition.
Also playing a major supporting role is Principal Julia Beckles, who's rallying behind her team.
My task is to help create the enabling framework for Team Combermere. And that has to do with a number of things. One of them for certain is to ensure that they have the physical resources. So that would be like the equipment, ensuring that as it relates to both the field and the track, that we look after that. And that could be from the school providing or by asking our partners to assist us in the provision of those items. Then there is ensuring that they get time to select the best. And that must be timetable, scheduled during the first and second term if possible. We don't see sports as a disruptor. Sports must be accommodated. And since school is Monday to Friday, we have to find a way to get that done. So in a very resourceful, creative way, we had what we call the telescopic timetable, which allowed for classes, the time for classes to be truncated a bit, to provide time in the afternoon where everybody could be out there supporting Team Combermere.
To see results, there must be participation. And this is where Ms. Beckles pays much attention to motivating students.
Once the students see you, that speaks volumes. Of course, at assembly, we speak to Team Combermere and the fact that we are pluming our wings for higher flight. And the students are congratulated among their peers so that we, as it were, big them up, young people's terminology, but we congratulate them for the things that they have done. And then we set expectations. This is what we are looking forward to next time around, because we must only do better. So certainly I go out there among them, watch them train, speak to individuals as they pass, and engage them. How was it for you? What's going to happen this year? They like that conversation to show that you are invested. We've spoken to them about the days when Combermere ruled things, when Combermere won everything, and the fact is we must get back there. So we've spoken about the legacy, we've spoken about those before who built the foundation, and the fact that you must add now to this rich tapestry. And you're not adding by saying, well, we gave our best and we're settling for a place that is after number one. We must be number one again. And we say that to them all the time. So every time we speak, after BSAC, we are going to have the victory lap. Every time we speak after BSAC, Team Combermere is going to be congratulated because we expect Team Combermere to do the double.
You would think, having been so close last year, that this year the sights of the Waterford Poliy is set on winning, and they're actually being touted as favourites to take, if not one, but maybe both titles. But there is a quiet confidence.
I feel that we should perform well. I am surprised to hear that we are touted as favourites. But on the day, it will come down to the team or teams that perform the best. So it's hard to be touted as favourites. We have to go to the track and do what we have to do. So being touted as favourites, neither here nor there with me.
I know how it is coming for the Waterford Poliy. Everybody, I'm looking at Combermere and watching them. All I want to say is may the best man win and let everybody's preparation speak for itself going forward. Track and field is always done on the day. It comes down to having a good team, and once we execute on the day, everything will go as planned. But we always look to improve every year, and that's our aim. Once we keep improving every year, eventually we'll get to the top, and that's where we are right now.
On the other hand, Principal Beckles has sent out her warning to the other schools. Winning is all they are intent on doing.
Because make no mistake about it, we are coming there to win both championships. So you're going to see me again. You're going to see me again leading that electrifying atmosphere in the stands, ensuring that I am one of the biggest fans for Team Combermere.
Are arming for the fight, pressing on with all our might, pluming wings for higher flight, up and on, up and on. From Waterford, we're going to head over to Churchill when we return, as they too get ready for BSAC 2024, which starts next week. Churchill is our final stop as we head over to the Foundation School. They are in the final stages of fine-tuning ahead of the competition. To take a line from their school song, It's a school with heart that will play its part to keep the beacon bright. And this is just why preparation for BSSAC has started quite a while.
We started back in, I would say, September at the beginning of the new school year, and I think our preparation has been going well. We were very consistent, I would say, at the BSSAC cross country and the 6x1K relay, and we are now fully into our preparations for our house sports, where our eliminations is coming to a conclusion.
Mr. Strong leads a 4-member physical education department that has also been able to garner strong support in getting the beacons ready for BSSAC.
Well, I have Miss Dennis Blackman, who is also a second farm year head, who is Dennis Osborne, and then I have Norma Rain, and I think we have a good rounded department, and I would have taken on this responsibility back in 2002, and actually Dennis Blackman, she celebrated her 30 years as a teacher at the CBC Foundation School last September 2023, and my anniversary was last week Thursday. And Mr. Osborne is 29, so we have a very experienced staff at the CBC Foundation School. We work as a team. I think the overall responsibility of track and field is both me and Ms. Blackman, but Mr. Osborne will play his part, Mr. May will play his part. But we have a key resource as Mr. Ricky Carter, and we have also brought on a parent, Sean Wilkinson, and so I think the support of the parents, I think one of the good things about this school is that we have always had the support of management. Have always supported us over the past 30 years. So with all of these ingredients, I think that it always create a very good brand. And I always have to remember of the sponsors over the years who have been continued to be very, very faithful to our brand, and think that we have a good brand, and I really hope that they will continue in the near future.
And speaking of that managerial support, that is where Principal Stephen Jackman steps in.
It is about allocating the time for them to be able to function. It's working with them to change the timetable so we can get the training done, so we can get the internal competition done. And wherever possible, it is meeting with them and seeing how we can reallocate finances to assist. It is going to be the cost of transport. It is going to be the time for training. Unfortunately, our children stay after school and train for at least an hour and a half. We've got a couple of parents who have come into the fold, and they are helping with the coaching in specific areas. So it's becoming a whole school effort, right? I was approached by the third year students, so we now will have a cheerleading team as well. And we've got a volunteer coming in from outside to assist with training the cheerleading squad. So we're making it a whole school effort. Parents, teachers, students, everybody pitching in, because we want a strong showing at BSSAC this year.
One thing that both Mr. Strong and Mr. Jackman can boast of is having great participation from students this year.
Each day is a different house color. So the shirts that I wear represent a house to create rivalry among the students. We've changed the timetable during the course of the last couple of weeks. We've created an 8-period day so that the eliminations are run with full spectatorship. So what we've done is create a mini sports day with a lot of cheering, the drums, the whole rivalry. The houses are out in force, so the momentum is picking up.
I'm very encouraged because, we would have had 2 years off from COVID, and I think not only foundation athletes, but I think the young people in Barbados had a lot of built-up energy, and it was really very, very good to see last year, where we had extremely high numbers in terms of the athletes taking part. But this year has even been bigger. Things have been going pretty well, and we look forward to offering a very good challenge at this year's BSSAC.
The last time Foundation tasted success was being joint girls champions with the St. Michael's School back in 2018. Since then, however, they have not finished outside the top 3 in either division. For 2024, it's time to take the title back to the south of the island.
To me, it's no pressure on as from Christchurch Foundation as a school. We always come and put ourselves there where we will go there and compete very well. And I mean, sometimes challenges are hard to predict, but I know that we're going to be a very competitive team this year.
The championship, both male and female, coming back to Churchill.
So there you have it. Principal Stephen Jackman summing up the charge of the Christchurch Foundation School for BSSAC 2024. And here now is where you should mark your calendar. It starts on March 5th through 7th with the Field Event Championships at Harrison College, before the Zonal meets on March 11th and 12th, 13th and 14th, before 3 days of finals from March 20th to 22nd. Over the past 4 weeks, we were into the back room of 8 secondary schools, and these are the men and women in the physical education departments and the principals. Harrison College, Princess Margaret Secondary, the St. Michael's School, St. George Secondary, Courage and Parry, the Allen School, Combermere, and the Christchurch Foundation School. So the next time you see an athlete in winner's row, remember there are men and women behind them, training them, supporting them, motivating them to be champions. It was my pleasure over the past 4 weeks going into the back room of 8 of those secondary schools so you can see the persons behind the teams ready for BSSAC. All that is left for me to say is see you at BSSAC 2024, and to the teams, best of luck. I'm Ann-Marie Burke. Good evening. That was BSSAC Off Track in the back room. You just met some of the men and women behind the school teams for the 2024 Barbados Secondary Schools Athletic Championship.